Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Rondi, and today, as you can see by the title, this is a story time about how I met my husband. I have to take you back to January 2009, and I decided to open up a profile on a dating app called Plenty of Fish. I'm sure many of you have heard about it and heard a lot of things about Plenty of Fish. Actually, though, I opened up my profile on Plenty of Fish at the end of 2008. 2008, I set up a profile. I met a couple of people on there. Yeah, a couple of jokers. And I was just like, you know what? This is whatever. So I just kept my account open, but I wasn't really paying attention to, like, I wasn't looking for, I wasn't fishing for anything. I wasn't fishing in the pond. That's what they call it. That's what they used to call it on the app. So I wasn't doing any of that. I just said, okay, forget it. So one day I'm at work and I decided to go on the app. I can't remember why. And I saw like some notifications and I saw somebody viewed my profile. I was like, oh, let me check this person out. I'm like, oh, he cute. And then I guess we were on the app at the same time. And I think you were able to see when somebody was like online. And I got a nudge like, hey, what's up? I'm like, who is this? Dell. I think it was Dell something. I can't remember. I just remember it was Dell. And I was like, oh, I'm like, nothing much, what's up? And I'm at work, supposed to be taking the people. I'm supposed to be taking calls, and I was just like, no calls today. And I remember my coworker walking by, and she saw that I was on Plenty of Fish on the website. And she was like, when are you gonna find somebody in a real space? I'm like, excuse me. I like this, what I'm doing, okay? It works for me. You're outside all the time. So if I take it back a step, I liked online dating because I wasn't trying to find, and not that there's anything wrong if you have met your mate at a club, at a bar. There's nothing wrong with that, but that wasn't my scene. I wasn't trying to meet anybody there. I tried that and I just didn't like the vibe. So for me, I was just trying something different. Trying, okay? So yeah, back to the message. I replied and I was like, hey, you know, nothing, hey, what's up? I think I said, you know, there was some small chit chat, you know, I'm at work. Where do you work? I told them where I worked. How old are you? You know, what do you do for a living? Where you live? If you have siblings, I remember he asked if I have any children, and I was like, no. And I asked if he had any kids, he was like, no. I was like, okay. And I said, you know, where are you from? He said, oh, I'm from Jamaica. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, how long have you been in Canada? And I think he, at the time, was like, this is 2009. So I think it was like 6 or 7 years. I'm like, oh, okay. Told me where he went to school, went to George Brown, graduated from culinary arts, was working at a small restaurant downtown, fine dining. Who do you live with? You know, I just started to go through all the questions because I'm asking this from the very beginning, because depending on how you answer the question, I'm just not going to proceed. Like, I will be like, okay, you know, you have a nice day, take care. But I was like, when he was answering all the questions, like, okay, nothing wrong with that. Who do you live with? He said he was with his mom and dad and his sister. It's like, okay, I live with my mother and my brother. You know, nothing wrong. Do you have a car? Yes, he has a car. Yes, if I have a car, yes. Where do you, like, so when he said, what city do you live in? I was like, okay, so at the time I was living in Brampton. And he was like, oh, I live in Brampton. I was like, oh, okay. So then we decided to take this conversation off Plenty of Fish, and at the time was BBM. No, sorry, it was Yahoo Messenger. This is 2009. Yahoo Messenger was still a thing. Okay, so we took it offline. We started talking on Messenger because at this point, you're not giving out your, well, at this point, I'm not giving out my number or anything like that. So we're giving, yeah. So we're on Messenger. I'd go home and hear the, you know, the notification, and we talk on Messenger, and we just talked about, you know, I can't even remember now, just a whole bunch of other things. Just getting to know each other. Then he says, do you have BlackBerry? And I was like, absolutely. Because listen, this was 2009? Yes. He asked if I had BlackBerry. Oh, this is what I wanted to see, because I remember, like, we loved down our BlackBerry. When? So, okay, yes. Because I remember the iPhone came out. But they were very expensive at the time. But we loved down our BlackBerry because we were, after 2009, I think we got several BlackBerries after that. But anyways, yeah. So we exchanged pins. Now, if you know anything about pins, before WhatsApp was as popular as it is now, BBM was the thing. Okay, don't get it twisted. BBM was the lick. I remember people used to be posting their pins on social media. Like at the time there was like Facebook. Oh, pin me. Just my pin me. You could have groups on BBM Messenger. Like, listen, change your status. You would know when people were beefing. Oh man, your avatar picture. Like, it was BBM. Let me tell you something. It was, and that notification, like, yeah, okay. So BBM was the thing. So we exchanged pins, and then we were on BBM. So I don't think he had my actual number. I don't think he could call me. It was just strictly BBM. So we got to know each other, and this is like a couple of weeks. So by the end of January, we decided to meet. And he said, where do you want to meet? I'm like, oh, he wanted to take me out. So I'm like, I don't really want to go out. Like, at this point, I was like used to being home, you know, just doing my thing. I used to get up early for work, and because I worked in the East End at the time. And I was like, no, I just want to go be home. It's all good. Because I remember this was during the week. And I said, let's just meet at the Tim Hortons at Bramley City Center. He's like, okay, cool. We met. So I sent him a picture of, and I had recently just shaved off all my head. And I'm just letting you know, because how I looked wasn't how I looked in, like, my profile picture on Plenty of Fish. I think I had, like, this was, my hair was cut with, like, asymmetrical, shaved at the sides, shaved at the back. So I let him know, I'm like, listen, that is all gone. That was perm. Your girl now is natural, okay? I got my little fade on. He's like, it's all good. And so we met. He has the picture that he took a picture of me the day we met. I think he has it somewhere. So we met at Tim Hortons, and I was like, hey, nice to meet you. He pulled up in his, I can't remember, it was like a tan color Honda Accord, 4-door. And I was like, hey, what's up? He's like, oh, you know, nice to meet you. We met in a well-lit area, because, you know, you got to be careful, okay? Like, side note, if you're gonna do that now, make sure you meet in a well-lit area, well-populated area, okay? So we met at the Tim Hortons, and then he was like, yo, I'm hungry, what do you want? I'm like, you want to go get something to eat? I'm like, okay, let's go. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, I want a McChicken combo from McDonald's. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, McChicken, Fruitopia mixed with Sprite, fresh fries, what's going on? Look, that's what I feel for. You said you said. He's like, okay, all right. So hopped in his car, and then we drove to the McDonald's, which is like up Queen Street in Brampton. If you're familiar with Brampton, it's Queen 410. And then he's like, so, do you want to go see a movie? I'm like, oh yeah, sure, let's go see a movie. Cool. So we went to go see a movie. And the movie was called Paul Bart Mall Cop. Do you remember that movie with Kevin? I can't remember his name. Kevin something. Comedian. Hilarious. Okay? So we went to the movies, and the rest is history, y'all. This was 15 years ago. January 2025 will be 16 years ago this happened. Okay? The rest is history. So I'm telling you all this to, like, don't knock it until you try it. I'm telling you, like, again, online dating has changed a lot since we met. Like, I've heard many horror stories. However, around the time that him and I met, like 2009, 2010, I know a lot of people who have met their now husbands on dating sites. And there was like Plenty of Fish. There was like, what else? There was OkCupid, Christian Mingle, which I heard was a disaster for a lot of people. And now there's all these other ones, like, what's the popular one that everybody was using at one point? I can't remember. I'll insert it here once I remember. So, for a long time, we didn't tell anybody that we met online because we were like, oh, people are going to judge us. Because at the time, people were like, oh my God, you met online? Yes. Because all the people around me were meeting somebody like at a gas station, at a stoplight. And I was like, I don't be outside like that. I really don't. I was working and then in my house. So it worked for us. Plenty of Fish has changed a lot. Yeah, a couple of my friends are not having the best of luck trying to find somebody. So they're just, but they're not intervening. They're just letting it, whatever happens, happens. I don't regret going on Plenty of Fish. I did, you know, have to meet a few jokers before I met my husband, but it's all good. So if you are, and now people, I mean, like, I have a friend who met her husband on Facebook. He messaged her, said, hey, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I don't know you. He's like, oh, yeah. Wrong person. Like, that's what's going on right now. Oh, sorry, I thought you were so-and-so. No, I'm not so-and-so. But, by the way, yeah, you're cute. What's your name? Like, that's what's happening now. People are sliding now into people's DMs. I follow a couple right now on YouTube. He slid into her DMs and they were married 5 months later. A young Christian couple. Come on, like, if you know, you know. Please, don't hate it. Please don't hate. Please don't hate. Please. A lot of people are still meeting people on the gram, on Facebook, and I don't know what else is there. Twitter, I don't know is there a Twitter day? Facebook has a dating section. I'm almost positive. Let me go to Facebook. Friends. No. Oh, maybe not. I thought there was a dating portion on Facebook. I was seeing things. Let me look. Dating. Yes! Find love. Welcome to Facebook dating. See, I knew it. I don't know if it's free. Oh, it says it's 100% free. New ways to date. Privacy first. So people, please don't knock it. Ask all your questions. Some people say, oh, but he could just lie to you. Yes, but you can meet Bobby. Not Bobby. Let me just use, you can meet Mr. Man at the gas station and find out like 3 weeks later he's married with a bag of pitney. So, guys, if people are gonna play in your face, they're gonna play in your face regardless if you meet them online or in person. Okay? So like I said, try something. You never know. You just never know, but you gotta be smart. You gotta be smart. So I was asking all my questions and I didn't just, listen, I asked age. Yeah, I think that's his name, age, where's he from, where he was born. And once he told me he wasn't born in Canada, I asked, what is your status here in Canada? And he told me I'm a permanent resident. The reason why I asked that is because I was not going to be sponsoring anybody to come to Canada. Now, if you have sponsored the love of your life to come to Canada, that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I wasn't doing it. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't going to be doing it. I was not sponsoring anybody to come to Canada. No. So that's why I asked those questions. Where you live, where you work. Now, here's the twist. I think like a couple days before, he had just gotten fired from his job. I was like, oh no, like that's unfortunate, but I wasn't knocking him because I remember he told me he was looking for a job and he just said sign up with the agency. So when I met him, he was actually working for Amazon. Before Amazon blew up, he was working in the Amazon warehouse overnight, picking orders. So every time he sees how Amazon has expanded, he's just like, I can't believe it was a small warehouse in Mississauga. There was no other warehouses really. Now they have a whole bunch in Mississauga and Brampton. He every time he sees it, he's like, I can't believe. Yeah, he used to pick the books. So he used to work in the book section and pick the books. That's what he was doing. He had lost his job in the restaurant and was working with the agency. Yeah. And I remember asking him, like, so do you want to still like find a job, like a full-time job in the hotel, or like, sorry, not the hotel, in the food industry, like cooking? And he's like, yeah. So he sent me his resume. I fixed up his resume, and he remembers the date of the interview. He got a job at a hotel downtown, and he didn't leave that job until 2020. So you never know, like, what's gonna happen when somebody is brought into your life, and you never know what's gonna happen. Like, I was able to help him with his resume. I remember coaching him on the interview. He got the interview. He did not leave that job until 2020 when the pandemic closed down the restaurant in the hotel that he worked at. And I remember they didn't call him back until like June, and by that time he had already found another job. I'm telling you, we never know. Okay, we got married 5 years later, so we got married in 2014 in May, and so we've been married for 10 years and together for 15. And like I said, in January 2025 will be 16 years we've been together. So you never, please, just do your homework. You will know when something's up, and don't, like, if you think something's up, just walk away. Don't do this all posting and exposing people on the internet. Don't do all that. It's not worth it. You'll know something up. You will know when something's up. You will know. Just be straight up from the very beginning. Ask all the questions. Ask whatever comes to mind. Like, for me, I know now dating is a little bit different. Would I have, like, if I was single at my age, single, no kids, would I date a man that had no job? Would I date a man that has no job? And he was the same age as me, but no job? Probably not. I would probably just, like, we'll stay in the friend zone. I'm just being honest. I don't think I could date somebody that has a job, no job, at this age. Back then, 16 years ago, life was different. The world was different. So if you're gonna date somebody online, ask all your questions. Don't rush, feel it out, but just ask all your questions, get to know each other. And let me tell you something, because I know God, if you're gonna play in my face, trust me, you will be exposed. God will expose you to me. Okay? So don't worry about, like, back then Instagram was I don't even think Instagram was a thing until like later, like 2012. So we didn't have Instagram. All we had was Facebook, but I wasn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, online dating is a lot right now. So take your time, ask all the questions, wait it out. If he's lying, trust me, the truth will come out. And obviously you don't lie, just be very truthful. But the truth will come out, I guarantee you. But again, for those who are looking for love, you might be looking for love in all the right places. No, looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah, you might be, I don't know. But don't knock it until you try it. So, do I encourage people to try online dating? Absolutely. You just never know, right? So that's my story. Well, we'll meet back here for another story time. Maybe I'll get hubby to join me and he can tell you about our like dating journey, like 5 years. And yeah, maybe we'll do that. So if you are planning, so meet me in the comments if you have met your husband or your wife online. I'm curious, and what site did you meet them? I'm curious to know, because I know it's popular now. It's been popular for the last couple of years, but I'm interested to know. And yeah, let's talk in the comments. So please like, share, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I would love for you to subscribe and meet me in the comments, and don't forget to turn on that notification bell, please. So until the next story time, take care and God bless. Bye.